Berkeley, I remember I don't know if it was after. It was probably while I was at Berkeley. I'm pretty sure it was while I was at Berkeley. I did my first gig where I made some good money. You know, before that time, I'd done bar gigs where I make whatever the door is, or I get $50 or whatever, and free drinks, or that kind of thing. But I never really played a gig where I made more than, I don't know, $100. You know, usually they were bars or um, maybe some jazz gigs where it was like we'd get, if we were lucky, $50. Usually it was like we'd split stuff and we'd get like $20 each if we're lucky. Um, but when I was at Berkeley, I remember doing my first paid gig. I think it was $150 back then. This was in the '80s, and I was like, "What? $150? That's more I make in my part-time job a week." So I was psyched. I get to play music for 4 hours and make $150. That was like I was in heaven. So, anyways, back to the story. I remember doing this gig and we played a standard, I don't know, Satin Doll or something. And I remember getting to the end of the standard and I just thought, oh, we're going to end now. In the book, it kind of just wraps up and it ends. But on this gig, I remember all of a sudden the band started vamping. The trumpet player started just playing, instead of ending, he's just like, starts improvising and going off. And then he's like, come on, Steve, and join, I was really, I didn't know what I was doing. I was young. So he had to like kind of give me cues and stuff and be like, come on, join me. And I'm like, oh, okay. I had no idea what we're doing. I'm trying to figure out the key. What's this turnaround vamp thing we're doing? I didn't even know those words back then. And I did good. I figured it out. I got some of the right notes. But what they were doing was called a 3-6-2-5 at the end of a tune. So what happens, and this is why it sounds familiar to you, you go 2, 5, 1. And usually that would be the end of the tune. Thank you very much. That's it. But what happens is if you want to vamp it, you go 2, 5, and instead of the 1, you go to 3 to 6. And if you think about 3,